Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 18th of November episode of my fantabulous live stream, the BB&B live stream, as we always like to call it, where we got Bevies, we got Blaze, and we are, in fact, this time going to talk about something bushcraft adjacent. Before we get on to that, however, I would like to do the usual housekeeping where I say that if you are indeed watching us time shifted to next week or next month or whatever, thank you for being part of the family, even from a distance, even though I know that you're not around in time to participate in the side chat right here. It's still good to see your comments show up in the doobly-doo below the video. If at any point tonight you absolutely love what's going on, then I absolutely invite you to drop me a smiley thumb. If at any point tonight you really kind of hate what's going on, who's this Jesse guy, what is he like, blah, 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 that's fine. Frowny thumb works just as well. And if you would like to take a more active role in keeping that light on, as many in the side chat already have, I invite you to right-click the join button, pop that open in another tab so that you don't miss any of the goodness on screen. And there you will see the 2 tiers of membership that are open to you for your hard-earned folding cash, as well as what each tier gets you. Give me 1 second. Just getting a little scratchy there. So tonight is my first interview show since 2022. My first show with guests on in a formal way since 2023. The last one was one of my panel series. I had stopped doing the interviews after the last one with Kevin Callan because I was mortified by how somebody was treating him. We now have much better mods around, so if anybody stirs up the shift, they do tend to get bounced pretty fast. So this is a big thing for me because I have had a block ever since then, and I haven't spoken to Kevin much since then either. A little embarrassed, but we're all friends here, and we're all going to keep each other on the straight and narrow. And so without much further ado, for my first guest back in a long time, hopefully the first of many, is friend to the channel and friend to everyone I feel in the bushcraft community. You guys know him quite well. He's a really nice guy. He's a fount of knowledge. I present unto you Dennis from Canoehound Adventures.
Hi, Dennis. Hey, how you doing?
Still standing. How are you?
This is really your first interview since, or like interview series since that last one with Kevin Callan?
Yeah. Wow. There was someone in the side chat who was just taking him down, and I didn't notice because I wasn't looking at the side chat because I was concentrating on the interplay. And it was only when he finally sort of said something that I think one of my mods sort of jumped on that person. But that person had been like, I read back after, and I was just like, nope. Yikes. So, I mean, more mods now, guys who are really on the ball, and I do depend on them. Although we've had a pretty good run over several months here. We haven't had a whole lot of people coming on and getting dumb. So, I'm just so optimistic.
It's a regular thing, That's cool. That's cool. It's actually pretty cool to see a lot of the familiar faces in the chat there. It's
yeah. I'm happy to see all these familiar names every week. It's a great crowd. I do want to say to the great crowd, because I'm doing an interview, I may not be as on top of the side chat comments as I usually am. So what I would like to just point out is I have what's that thing called? A scroller?
Scroll.
A scroll. If you have a question, please put question and then a colon in all caps so that I know exactly what's going on. In fact, there's one already there, which I will get to in exactly 1 second. I just want to say hi to everyone who's hanging. Oof. Let's just say a general hi because it took us a while to get on, and there's just too much to get through without, taking up the whole time.
I apologize to everybody. That was all my end here. My computer update to Windows 11 really messed things up here, and yeah. Well, sorry about that.
I'm not going to
Sorry,
throw you under a bus on that one though, because
I threw
I've,
myself under.
my gaming computer, because this is a Mac, but down there I have a PC. When I updated that to Windows 11, a lot of stuff kind of went kablooey. So I'm not going to judge. That's for sure. So our first question for you. Well, you know what? Um, I want to hear about you first. I want to talk about how things are going right now. I want to hear about paddling. I want to hear about, are you hiking, paddling, are you getting out? Is one of us on the screen getting into the bush this year, this past year?
Yeah, you know what? Over the last couple of seasons here, where I've had my bit of a hiatus, I've actually gotten more canoeing in than I've ever gotten in my life in the summer season, uh, averaging 4 to 5 trips a year. Some of them just little weekenders, of course, a couple of longer trips, but it's been really good. It's been enjoyable getting back there. Some of which I've recorded, some of which I didn't bother recording. Some great adventures with the grandkids, getting them out there and just having a blast with it right now. It's yeah,
And
definitely.
how,
I'll never give up the paddling unless these arms fall off.
right. Um, and I'm guessing well, do you film with the grandkids at all, or do you sort of, is that when you keep the cameras sort of in the box?
My oldest grandson, or my second oldest grandson, on his first trip, I did a little recording and nothing really that I could put a video together for because it was like just really choppy. It was more capturing like him catching his very first fish. Got that in the boat or in the canoe, and that was like, it warms my heart every time I see it. You know, a little bugger caught a freaking bass, like, had to be 13, 14 inches long, all by himself. And then just to prove it wasn't a fluke, he did it again about less than 5 minutes later. So, fished his grandpa. That was
I
pretty
was
cool.
gonna say, did you catch anything though?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Here, Grandpa, you can have one of mine.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good to hear. I mean, um, I okay. So you filmed some and you didn't film some. Do you feel that the filming kind of gets in the way sometimes?
Uh, yeah, it does. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how do I say this right? Some people have the ability or that uncanny ability to get out there and actually just record everything that they do. Uh, I found that I have one. It's carrying all that extra gear on a trip anymore. It's a lot of weight. This year on my big trip, which was up in the headwaters of Wabakimi,
Okay.
not Wabakimi, sorry, Mizanabi. There we go. Wow. So, yeah, the headwaters of
Misnabi.
Mizanabi. I carried my whole big pack with all my camera gear. Did a lot of recording, um, and I also brought my DSLR, which I like to record with. But we had such crappy weather, the DSLR didn't even come out of the camera pack. So that entire trip, I carried this DSLR, which with the batteries and of course the tripod and everything
Yep.
else, you're carrying an extra 8-10 pounds of weight there. That on a trip that was very very rugged, um, probably one of the tougher trips we've done in the past few years. I really didn't need that weight, right? So
Yeah.
GoPro, okay, DSLR, yeah, not so much, but that's where you get the good shots. So
Yeah. I mean, I understand that completely because my DSLR pretty much stays right here, and I got a great camera on this,
mhm.
and I can drop it in water and it still works. You know what I'm saying? And it fits in a
Yeah, but
pocket.
you don't want to test that, right?
I may have tested it a couple of times, but like, they're so good now that I don't, you don't get the bokeh and stuff like that. But for so much of what I film, this is just fine. I have the same story as you. Last time I went camping with the girls, I brought this thing. I brought a big tripod. I brought a tiny tripod, and I brought this. And guess what got used? Not even once.
Really? Yeah.
Didn't use the
Yeah.
DSLR even once. This
Yeah.
got used for everything. So yeah, I get it. I think I think this is supposed to be an interview show, so I'll be very quick about blabbing my. I think these are going to change the interfaces of those.
I do.
right?
Yeah, I believe that 100%. Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I
because
know a lot of YouTubers that actually just record on their cameras,
yeah,
like solely. They don't carry GoPros, they don't carry DSLRs. It's all their iPhones or their
yeah,
Samsungs, right? So,
yeah. But I also hear you when you're saying that, like, you can't just shoot all that. We're not all Casey Neistat, right?
mhm.
You know, I find that it's easy to sometimes lose the point of being in the bush alone when you've
Yeah,
got, you know, your camera out and you see everything through a screen. I stopped recording so much at like parties, baby showers, this, that, because I realized I had experienced every event over a 3-year period by proxy,
yeah.
right? And so I put it down because
Yeah.
I want to live in the moment. I mean, I'm 53. There are fewer days that way than there were that way. I want to live in the moment. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like the way you put that. Yeah, I understand that one big time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
you
the other thing too, though, Jess, about bringing cameras into the backcountry, and I love it for capturing the memories, and I watch all my videos when I get home. It's this part here, sitting and spending, to put out a halfway decent video, to spend 8, 10, 12, 14, 20 hours, 2 days, 4 days, whatever it might be,
yeah,
into editing. It takes up a lot of the time that I just don't have right now. It's yeah.
yeah. I completely agree. Look, I went to film school, and I'm still like I'm trying to pull myself out of a year and a half of really fundamental burnout on both of my
Hmm.
YouTube channels, and if I could just get someone to do my editing, but I mean, we're not at that. I don't have a million subs, do you? Right?
Yeah.
Like it's impossible. Impossible. Shut up. It's very hard to be able to justify paying for an editor at sort of my level of subs and money intake.
Yeah.
Um, but for my other channel, what I did was I simplified the crap out of my reviews. There's virtually no editing anymore, and I'm starting to put stuff out, and I'm gonna try that approach here next time I hit the bush and see if like I just if the editing is just stringing shots together instead of all the stuff I used to do, if maybe that'll sort of bring it back, because I do lose a lot of time sitting on at these two screens,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, and I have other things to do.
And the one thing too I find, or I don't know if you've noticed, actually kind of disappeared. Um, and they just silently sort of drift away, and you don't see too much of them anymore, and then you don't see anything for quite a long time. And it's because it's difficult. It is difficult to do, to get out there and shoot and do it on a regular basis, and then spend all the time. And a lot of the YouTubers that are really successful at it are putting out um, videos farther spaced apart, but they're super good quality. Like you look at Xander Budnick and his brother. Uh, John from Lost Lakes, like a lot of the YouTubers that we really enjoy they're stretching the time, the duration out between their videos, but they're putting out a polished. Like I just watched one the other day of Canoe the North. I hadn't seen anything from Keenan in quite a while,
Right.
and now we come out with a great video. It was a 2-hour watch, but it was a really good video.
Man, I have a hard time watching even an hour,
Yeah,
right now. I used to be able to watch like an hour, hour and a half, but it's just, oh, I watch it in
yeah,
little chunks, while I'm doing the dishes or while I'm, whatever. But yeah, it's tough. Um, I just want to see who's Country Boy Trapped in the City says we won't let anyone talk shit about you, Dennis. Referring to the reason I haven't done one of these interviews since that since that Kevin Callan episode.
yeah. Kevin's in the chat there. Hey, Kevin, how you
Is
doing?
he?
Yes, yes, he is.
Holy crap! Hi, Kevin. I haven't spoken to you in a long time. Um,
How about you, Jess? Have you got no
We are having some tech issues here, people. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but we keep getting kicked out. Little fish, how's it going, Marcel? Um, so yeah, you're getting onto the lakes and the streams and stuff. Getting some camping in. Um, Let me ask you about your hiatus. I mean, I just sort of TMI'd everyone about my hiatus. Um, so you did your show, or maybe you will be doing your show again, but for the chunk of time that leads up until today, you
Mm-hmm.
did your show for 5 seasons plus 2 episodes. Am I right about that?
Yeah. I threw a couple of little impromptu ones in there that for local shows and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look, I know that you're doing that, and with the quality of the shows you brought out, you were obviously putting in the work. But you also, I think I can say you own a print shop, right?
yeah.
So what's going on, or what happened there?
You know, season five, like we'll just call it at season five. That was the last season up until now. Not worry about the extra little impromptu shows. Season five was actually in question. I had a bit of a difficult time with that one there, just trying to drum up guests. Like you could always pick up guests, but doing the work to get guests is quite. It's not as easy as it would seem. We'll just put it that way. And I decided to push forward after season four and do season five. And then I really did want to do season six with more breaks in between, not have a regular steady show. Uh, truth of the matter is, I was burnt out, man. Just totally burnt out. When you produce 30 let's say 30 to 35 40 shows a season, and you do it yourself. You're getting to be the Iron Man here, Jess. uh, it's
It's not easy.
yeah, exactly, it's not easy. Like if you're doing sort of just a talk show or a one-on-one, and you always have the regulars on the show, not quite as difficult because you don't have to drum up the guests. You don't have to do all the research into the guests or the topic. It's not always guests, because there's a lot of topics that we covered as well, and it just got to be very, very burdensome. We my business, like my personal life, my business was suffering for it, because every Monday and Tuesday, when I should be actually working on my business, I was actually working on Canoehound's Outdoor Adventure Show.
Right.
And not to say I didn't love it. I've loved every single show that I've done. And I appreciate every single guest I've ever had on the show. And to say that I'm totally done, I won't say I'm totally done. So there's just like in Dumb and Dumber, right? Like there's that 1% chance. Yeah. So you're
in your
saying
case,
there's a chance, right?
in your case, done and doneer. But I mean, I
Yeah.
would like to point out, I'm not like blowing smoke up your butt or anything, but you had some great guests on. You
Yeah.
had some great guests, and you knew the stuff, and you kept the conversation going. So I mean, I saw the work. Everyone saw the work that went into that
Thank you.
show for sure. There are actually some questions for you. I just saw a
Sure.
couple pop up. So and now they're gone. Hold on. David Evans is asking. Wait, if I scroll up here, We'll just do a couple of questions in a row here. David Evans is asking, how many canoes do you own, and where are they? I remember you selling a pack boat a while ago that I looked at and thought, I can't afford that, and I don't want a pack boat, but it's Dennis's.
Yeah, the most boats I've had is 3 canoes. That was when I had the pack boat, the Swift pack boat. I did sell that because Novacraft was a sponsor of mine, and I picked up a new Novacraft canoe. So currently I'm running on 2 canoes. I've got a Novacraft Prospector 16 in Royal Light. It's an old gem that hopefully I never have to get rid of, or hopefully I never punch a hole through. And now I've also got a 15-foot Bob Special in their in what they consider their special edition, the gray Kevlar or Basalt Negra, but I think they call it tough stuff. Both great canoes. Highly endorse Novacraft canoes. They, in my opinion, I think they build a fantastic canoe. I'm sure they all do, all the manufacturers, but I'm partial to Novacraft.
And so, what's the difference between those two boats, and like, what would make you choose one over the other?
Okay, so I did have, like I said, I had the 14-foot Prospector by Swift, which is a pack boat,
Yep.
and I wanted a solo boat. So I figured rather than getting another Prospector, I picked up the Bob Special for solo paddling. Being a 15-footer, it handles really nice. Keeps a nice straight line with the shape of the floor. It's got like it doesn't have a keel, but the floor sort of bows down into a bit of a point there, which keeps really good for tracking. It's a nice stable canoe. It's fairly lighted, not as light as the Swift that I had, which weighed in at like 32 pounds or something. This one here is around 44 or something like that, and I can still get it over my head, and I'm happy. So, yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Should we move to another question?
Yeah.
Because now I'm starting to see questions roll in, which is cool. Christy is asking, will you be going back to doing interviews again, Dennis? Now, we just sort of talked about this, so let's not pin Dennis down too much or anything. But...
I'm not afraid to answer that, because I'm saying yes because I want to keep the door open. I just turned 61 this year, and I'm hoping to set myself up for retirement within the next couple of years. And I'm going to have to do something when I retire, right? This could be my poison. I could maybe spend a little more time, because I'll have more time to do it. Right. Remember, when I first started Canoehound's Outdoor Adventure Show was during the COVID bubble, right?
Right.
I had all the time in the world. We all had all the time in the world to.
I started a whole second channel during that time.
And everybody had the itch. Everybody wanted to get outside, right? So that's what really kicked the show off. It was a great gathering spot of all these like-minded people that had the same itch that I did to want to get outside, right? And I think by doing interviews or doing topic shows, it just it kept salting the fish. Everything just kept building up, and as soon as everybody had that chance, everybody went out, right? But that's kind of where Canoehound's Outdoor Adventure cut its teeth. In fact, I seen on Facebook, sometimes they put your memories. Yes. It was like 6 years ago, a couple days back or a week back, that was the show where I had Kevin Callan on for the very first time. Mm-hmm. And at the time, he was one of the more prominent guests that I've had on the show. So,
but he's such an effortless guest to have on, though, right?
Oh, he is. He makes it easy. You make it easy, Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't want to be blowing smoke up anyone's, but I mean, some people just come on and, some people come on and you kind of have to pull answers out, and some people just, they have so many stories to tell,
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone you're kind of dying to have on the show again, and that would sort of help you, if you got the opportunity?
Oh, you mean again, or like new guests?
Can we have a double header on that?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's always cool to have on the big YouTubers, because they bring in a big draw, right?
Yeah.
And they're the people I watch. At the same time, new and upcoming YouTubers are great to have on. Of late, I've been watching an awful lot of like homesteading and these people building off-grid lifestyles and stuff like that. For some reason, it's really, really intriguing to me.
Me too.
Watching these people scout outdoors. Still, of course, Sean James. I still watch his videos. And there's a bunch of other ones as well. There's a guy in BC, his name is Sean as well, called Cabin River Outdoors. I absolutely love watching this guy. He's building out in the BC mountains.
I did not know that one. Give me a sec to write that down. What'd you say it was?
Cabin River Outdoors.
I shall check that out.
Yeah, he's building a really cool homestead out in 40 acres out in the foothills of the mountains in BC. And yeah, it's pretty amazing what he's gone through. Another guy I'm following right now is a channel called what's it called? What in the World? and it's this guy from New Zealand who's paddling across Canada.
Oh, that must be really cool.
Yeah.
What in the world?
What in the World? It's called, and it's it's a really cool. He does a day by day account. He started at the foothills of the Rocky Mountains on this side around Rocky Mountain House, and
Oh, nice
right
part of the
now
country.
to the part that I'm following now, which is up to date, he's paddling across Superior. So it's pretty cool, and I'd love to get these people on the show, and because
I would be
it's stuff that I enjoy
terrified.
watching.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
terrified to paddle across Superior.
Well, he's going around the shore. Like last
Yeah.
episode, he was in Marathon, which is
Okay.
for anybody that knows Superior or the Superior Trail. He's in Marathon right now. So
Right. Destiny's got a question for you.
yeah,
Question for Dennis. Are you one of those guys who just knows where they are when they're in the outdoors or canoeing? I find that ability fascinating, especially when on a lake or river in thick forests or parks. I'm guessing what she means is like you've got a great sense of sort of spatial awareness, direction, and all that. You don't get lost like some of us
I
do.
do. I well, I've always got a map with me. I've always got my GPS with me, like my InReach.
Mhm.
But I can look and I can just know the direction I'm going. I can know what north, south, east, and west is sort of just by looking at the sky.
Yep.
Uh, I've always had a good directional sense like that. My wife says, "Thank goodness," because she gets lost going to the corner store. Don't tell her I said that,
I won't.
but it's true.
It's our secret.
Street names I can't remember, but any directions anywhere, like if I've been there once or even not, I can generally find my way around pretty good.
Okay.
And that deals with the backcountry. Never been lost, touch wood, right?
Never. Okay. Here's a question that I noticed in spite of myself. Will we see you at the Hamilton Adventure Expo? That's from Jay Byrne.
Yes, I'll be at the Hamilton Adventure Expo with the boys from Kid Products. Many of you might be familiar with them. They're a sponsor of my show. It'll be on the Saturday only because, get this, we have a trip booked and we leave Sunday morning for Jamaica. So we get to go down to see all the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. It was something that was booked previously. Even before I knew the dates of the show, the Hamilton show. But for anybody that's in the Hamilton area, go to the Hamilton show. Or in Ontario, it's even worth a drive to stay overnight or something. They put together a really good event. This year's a 2-day event. Last year was 1 day. It was fantastic, and I'm sure 2 days is going to be even better. And the list of speakers that they have is incredible. Yeah.
Good to know. Here's a question from Russell from Raspberry Rock. Who's your guilty pleasure on YouTube? Like not an outdoors or camping or canoeing related.
My guilty pleasure on YouTube. I watched the Steve Dangle podcast because I'm a diehard stupid Leaf fan. And this guy, if you've ever watched the Steve Dangle, what's it called, LFR, I have to watch that after every Leaf game that the Leafs lose because this guy goes on a rant and he'll have you rolling on the floor. So, yeah.
So something sports related. That's a great question, actually.
Yeah.
Yep, that was Michel Plourde says you're 61, but you're looking 41.
I don't know. There's a hat on for a reason. It's to stop the glare, man.
So you're saying I should have put a hat on too?
No, you got the right lighting. You're okay.
Yeah. David Evans says he loves watching Cabin River outdoors.
Yeah. Sean's pretty cool, man. This guy, sometimes he does things a little backwards, but he gets his job done. Yeah.
Yeah. Peanut Trucker is out because of the NyQuil. I don't know how late I am, but good night, buddy. If you catch us on the replay, then I hope you're sleeping well tonight.
Yeah. Hope you can breathe.
Yeah. I'm just sort of super good. Says we're recording some stuff before you're heading to Jamaica.
Yes, we are. Yeah. The promoters of the show had asked me if I wanted to do at the show. They want a little speakers corner, like a YouTube. They want to do some live streaming and stuff, and we discussed that at the offset of last year's show.
Yep.
And I thought it was a fantastic idea, and then of course the vacation got booked, and it was like, and then the show, yeah, everything just kind of fell the wrong way. And I'm glad that they reached out to Tim and Pamela. I don't know if Pamela is going to be there recording with you, Tim, but yeah, I look forward to sitting down with you.
Cool. I have not been to an outdoor show outside of Montreal ever.
No.
There's all kinds of shows I would love to go to someday when life just, but yeah. And even the ones here have mostly been like hunting and fishing related.
Yeah.
But I do look forward to one day seeing you in person at a show.
Yeah, man, it's long overdue. You and I've known each other, and we've done this here for like probably 4 years at least, right?
Yeah. Give or take. Yeah.
And we do chat occasionally by phone. We've texted each other and stuff like that. I always have to not always, but I've let you know when the Lancaster flies overhead and stuff like that, because it flies over our head almost weekly.
Love that sound.
Yeah.
I love that sound. Record it next time. I will just listen to it as I fall asleep. I had a grandpa who worked on a Lancaster. Fortunately, he did come home.
Good for him.
Yeah. Some of his friends are still at the bottom of the English Channel, but he did come home.
I think the only reason why that thing flies over our head over here all the time is we have a guy that lives around the corner who's a pilot. And he flies it over his house. He does the big loop all the way around here, and you see him all the way around, right? He always flies right over his place. So,
yeah. I get the feeling that it's not as fun to be in as it is to watch from the ground. Like I've seen pictures of inside of those things. They're pretty basic and loud, and apparently quite cold. But
I would love to fly in that thing. That would be incredible.
I'd like to fly in it just because, it's one of my top 2 favorite aircraft ever.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Here's a question. I'm not keeping my eye on the questions, Dennis. I just skipped. There's another one from Russell. Question for Dennis. What's been your favorite green room chat after the show? Is that?
Oh,
do we talk about that?
I
started reading that, and then I saw where I was going and thought I shouldn't have been so fast on that one.
You can probably tell by my laugh. I won't mention any names, just on the grounds that might incriminate anything. But let's just say that usually, as soon as the camera shuts off and we're in the green room, the potty mouth comes out, and everybody. It's like you go from Show Joe to, and I'm not referring to anybody specific, just I'm making a rhyme name. Show Joe to Holy F Joe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the scruples go out the window sometimes. We've had people in the back in the green room go on rants. We've had people in the green rooms just like, telling stories that you wouldn't believe, or like, what really went on behind the scenes that they couldn't really talk about on screen. There's also been a lot of great connections made. Everybody's familiar with Xander Budnick. Remember the show that I had James Alofs on? He's got what's the name of his channel?
What season was that?
James Aloff. He's another guy. He's building a cabin now. He had the Wilderness on Instagram, Wilderness News or something like that. But anyways, those two, they connected really good to the point where Xander was actually on one of the episodes of his show. Went out there to help with his cabin build and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, there's been some cool stuff like that where people connect, and I don't know if there's anybody gotten married or anything like that, but not that type of connection, but
right.
some definite friendships have been made in the back. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Super Good says that meeting Dennis in person is a great hug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great
Good
bro hug. Oh yeah. I'm a bro hug. I'm a hugger guy. I'm a hugging guy.
You're a hugger?
It's always got to be the bro hug, and every woman.
You with the full on the tap on the back, just a
Oh yeah, well, the old "Hey, how you doing, buddy? Bring it in close" type
Oh
of
yeah, I
thing,
get it.
right?
I get it.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hike with Mike wants us to go on a canoe trip together.
Hey, we talked about that before. If you ever wanted to come down, if you wanted
Yeah.
to, you come down and we can meet somewhere. We could definitely do a trip together. It's I think when people get together that don't really know each other, it can bring out a whole new dynamic,
Hmm.
for the trip because there's new stories to listen to around the fire. Sometimes when you
Yeah.
go with the same person all the time, it's always the same stories. Hey, remember when? Hey, remember when? Right? But I don't remember when Jess did something or whatever. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, that's true.
yeah.
That's true. And Michel Plourde is also asking, do you have a best camping memory or anecdote
I
or interview anecdote? He says.
Yeah, one of my best camping trips was the last trip that my dad ever come on with me. My dad's still with us. That's a good thing. He's not doing too well these days, but uh, just remembering having my dad on canoe trips. He was always entertaining anybody that ever canoed with our group, whoever was on the trip when my dad was there. Every morning would be woken up by a Tarzan scream by the by the shore. uh, some of the things that my dad would do, just that would kind of blow your mind. Like I'll tell one story, and we talk about it every time we're on a canoe trip. We catch this whole pile of fish, and we're at the campsite. And we're cleaning fish, and we're putting all the fish scraps inside of the bag, right, into like a plastic bag, so we can carry it down to the lake and dump it, right, and then burn the bag. Oh, we finished cleaning the fish, and my dad goes, "Here, I'll get rid of the fish." Right? And he goes, "Okay." So we give him the bag, and he comes back empty-handed. It's like, "Hey, Jack, where's the bag?" He goes, "Oh, it's out there in the lake." Old Frenchman. That's all I could say, right? By today's standards, that wouldn't happen, right? It's like, no, you don't throw the bag out there. Yeah, just stuff like that. It was kind of funny, but you know,
Just an old school approach, shall we say?
yeah. I wish I could get my dad out on at least one last canoe trip, but COPD will not allow for that.
Oh
Can't
yeah.
carry his tank out there. So
Okay.
yeah,
Mm. I'm just taking a look.
I can also say a couple of other like some of my biggest memory trips. Wabakimi trip 2 summers ago. That
Oh,
was my very first fly-in trip. My good friend Ingo and I, we flew in there. We had 11 days of fantastic paddling, some of the worst storms I've ever seen, incredible fishing, scenery, incredible, even in the burnt out areas. Uh, just a full on memory. That was a bucket list trip for me that I finally got to do. Um, and then this year's trip, big trip where I thought I was going to die, but we won't get too deep into that one.
whoa, whoa, whoa! Slow down. One does not say no, 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 no. Yeah.
I know.
Oh yeah, almost like disaster, but we'll just move on. No, we can't move on from that.
Talk about a segue,
Oof.
right? No, I got swept this year. I got up in Mizunami. I got swept down some rapids pretty bad. Banged up a little bit, and I held on to my canoe the whole time. We run into some rapids that we had to line down. There were no portages around it,
Okay.
and my feet got pulled out from me under like a side wash that kind of come out. Took my feet out, and I held on to the canoe, and somehow the canoe even turned around 360. So I got video footage of the whole thing. And I had to ride the rapids, get the feet up, banging my legs and my tailbone and stuff like that. It's probably the most scared I've ever been on a trip, um, on, for anything in like 40 years plus, right? But I survived. I'm still here talking to you. So
So how long was that trip?
that was an 8 day trip.
And this was on day what?
That would have been probably on about day 4. Yeah, probably about day 4 is on the Little Mizunabie River. It took us 1, 2, 3. No, it would have been day 5. It took us 4 days to get from our put in
Yeah.
to that point. But one day we covered about 3 kilometers. The portages were so bad.
So after getting pounded by all those rocks, especially on the tailbone and everything, how was the rest of the trip?
It was great. The fishing was good.
You weren't
No,
like
you know what?
aching the whole time?
I come out of it unscathed. It just scared the crap out of me pretty
Okay.
much. Like, you know, I was a little bruised up and stuff, but nothing to concern anything about.
Right.
Some of the stuff I said at the end of it, because I had the video camera going and everything, and some of the stuff I said at the end of it was kind of out there in left field, but
But you just had like a near-death experience, so I mean,
yeah, well,
you know,
near death to me,
right.
but maybe to somebody else. The other guys come down and go, "Oh, you're okay." So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. David Evans is asking, how'd you get Les Stroud on your show? One of my favorites.
um,
A lot of
to
work.
get Les Stroud on the show, I reached out to his publicist. I kind of did a little bit of deep digging to find out different things, and got a couple of names and did some researching, and then a couple of emails. And Les was nice enough to grace me not once but twice as being a guest on the show. First time we covered Les, it was basically about Survivor Man. And the second time we wanted to try something a little different and get away from the Survivor Man aspect and get into his other talents. You know, he's a musician. He has what do you call those goggles?
VR.
Virtual reality game coming out, yeah, and some books that he's written and stuff like that. So we covered a lot of different topics other than Survivor Man. He kind of appreciated that one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a guy with a whole bunch of talents. I actually he had
Yeah.
one of his albums on Kickstarter, I think it was, and so I kickstarted it. The guy knows what he's doing with the guitar, that's for sure. You know, good stuff. I mean, it's a very specific style, but yeah, I like the work. The work is strong for sure.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, he's like an OG of like this YouTube stuff, right? He was putting out videos that now us people put out as YouTube videos.
Yeah,
he was putting them on mainstream TV.
Yeah, that's very true. That's absolutely true. Another question for you from David Evans. What emergency gear do you typically carry on a canoe trip? David is going to keep you talking all night long.
That's okay. That's okay. Emergency gear. Well, I always carry my Garmin InReach. I have the GPSI Maps 66, and it's a really good, in my opinion, one of the better InReaches out there. Of course, always my life jackets, and your throw ropes and stuff like that. But yeah, just best part of safety gear is right up here.
Yeah, for sure. I've always found it interesting that you do the Garmin, and I think we had this conversation at one point. I glitched in the middle of the word conversation. It was like, just keep on going. Because, I mean, the spot is everywhere, right?
Yeah, well, they both do the same thing. Basically the same thing. It depends on what model you get, the features that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Zoleo as well, and I believe Motorola is just getting ready to, or has recently come out with one as well. They all do the same thing, man. Even Apple phones, do they not have satellite?
Yeah, this one will do it.
Yeah. That's I never used to carry something like that up until about maybe 6-7 years ago. And the reason why I did was one of the guys in our party, not on a trip, but one of the guys that usually comes canoeing with us suffered a heart attack. And it was just kind of an eye opener to say, you know what, this could happen in the backcountry. In his case, it didn't happen in the backcountry, but and when you start getting up there in years, and even when you're younger, you never know what can happen. We've done shows on Canoehound Outdoor Adventure show about, the SOS or about the InReaches, and we've had people on there saying, yeah, I had a heart attack in the backcountry, and if I didn't have that thing there to push, or I lost my boat and I'm in the middle of nowhere, I can't get out.
Yeah, something where it's just like a button and you slap it and it just sort of goes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I highly recommend to anybody that goes backcountry.
Yep.
I even carry it on with me when I travel. If I go up north, like family camping with the camper, with a travel trailer or something.
Yep.
I bring it. It's in the car. You never know. You're in the middle of somewhere. You have an accident. You can push that button, and it's going to help. It's going to save you, right? So,
Well, you know the saying, better to have it and not need it than the opposite, right?
Yep, 100%.
I do want to point out that it is 10 o'clock on this live stream every week. That is traditionally the time of the whiskey pouring. So if you got pour, what I'm having tonight in honor of the all Canadian nature of tonight's show is the Two Brewers Classic Release 35, which I am almost through. So I may have to get my butt to Alberta to buy another one sometime soon.
Sorry to show my butt here to everybody. I'm looking for a glass.
You're bumming the audience, man. I'm sure Kevin Callan has a dram going. Kevin, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm trying to empty out my whiskey. This whole top row up here is full of different bottles.
Yeah, I'm trying to bottle stuff down before I open anything else too. This classic is a 46% alcohol by volume, and it is non-chill filtered and no added coloring. So to everyone who usually cracks a whiskey with me at 10 o'clock, Slàinte or Prost or Skål, cheers.
To y'all.
What do you have in there, Mr. Canoehound?
Product of Scotland. It's King of Queens. It's a blended Scotch whiskey. It was given to me by somebody a long, long time ago, and I don't know if it's good or not because I don't know my whiskeys or my scotches very well, unless they're mixed with Coca-Cola. I know, sacrilege, right?
This Johnny Walker Blue Label is pretty good, but I like it better with Coke. Let's see who's drinking a whiskey with me, with us. Ingo Hetzer says, Wabakimi was an awesome trip. Got to do that again.
Are you doing it, Ringo?
I would love to do an epic canoe trip. I've been paddling more often than, because my whole thing was up till a few years ago. My last time paddling, I'd been in the Air Cadets, right? So I was 16, 17, and I very quickly discovered that it's not like riding a bike. My J stroke still sucks because I practice it on occasion rather than really regularly, but I just love it. Even with the struggle of I used to be able to do this. It's still great to be on the water. I firmly believe that anytime you spend in a boat, whether it's a sailboat or a canoe, that's not deducted from the time you're allotted to live on Earth. Oh, there's a question here from Kevin. Dennis, best moment when your wife joined you at the end of the show, give you a hug and kiss, and then said...
Kevin. She gave me a hug and a kiss and said, good night. Because this is like a game of the newlywed game. Remember that? Every once in a while, towards the end of my show or when my wife is getting ready to turn in for the evening, she would come and she would come down and say, and I'd always have to bring her in to say hi type of thing.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Country Boys celebrating Eastern Canada with a Rideau. Technically, that's Central Canada. We're Central Canada here. Although I believe that Central Canada should be Ontario and Manitoba. I mean, look where the center of Canada is. For God's sakes, geography. Get it right.
Jess, do you have a canoe now?
No. I almost bought one. I was looking. So, I have sort of my midlife crisis is going to be, I think, a Swift 16 Prospector. Because they do at 16 they do a combi, whereas you can have it solo, or you can you've got other benches that you can put in so that you can go tandem, say with my eldest daughter. I don't know if Novacraft does that because I haven't looked into it, but I like that element. I know that it's going to cost a lot because I have to buy the lightest boat I can because these knees ain't getting any younger. But my thought was to buy, and in fact my wife's suggestion was just buy something off the marketplace to use for now, kind of thing. And so I was like looking at boats because a trainer boat, right? Just to sort of get back into the swing of
Yep.
it before, because a Swift or a Novacraft is like, that's your canoe trip canoe. But between now and then, there's a lot of, paddling around on, say, Lac de Montagne, where like my mother-in-law has a lakefront place there, right? So I can paddle. And it's just, my car broke down. So $1,000.
Yeah.
And then I just never got back into it. But I do intend to buy one, because what I'll do is I will leave it at my mother-in-law's place. I will not bring it here, because that's the thing. There's nowhere to keep it at
That's
my
right. She's got
place.
a cottage, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, she lives there.
Okay.
It's, about 50 years ago it was a cottage, and now it's a street with houses on it. But
Right.
I'll just leave it there.
Yep.
One thing that I was wondering about. Sure, what to look for, Dennis. We've had.
Sorry, am I losing you, or are you losing me here?
Let's let the audience decide. Is everyone losing one or the other of us? Who's? Oh, Kevin's having red spot. I'm just waiting until Dennis knows whether because Dennis, you're still on screen for me.
Okay, no, you broke up a bit on my end. I don't know if it was you breaking up or me.
Okay. Don't talk to me about breakups, man. I'm happy in my relationship.
So you're asking a question, Jess.
Yeah, it's just I like, if I was on the marketplace or Kijiji or whatever looking for a mountain bike, I know how to judge a mountain bike, right? I mountain biked for a long ass time up until Camille came into the world. And like, I know when I'm looking at a bike that is at the end of its life, those spokes aren't just bent, they're broken. Stuff like that. I know. I don't know with the canoe. And so I was worried about spending, a few $100 on a canoe that was like, that it had its spine broken, I guess. Like, I saw one that had obviously been sitting on its bottom under a heavy snowfall, sort of on an angle. You know what I'm saying? And like the bottom head. But I don't know how to judge unless it's something like, if it's something that obvious, I'm like, hey, I could be blind and still see this. But I never know what to judge when I'm looking at a boat for the first time, especially if I'm not looking at one of those Grumman aluminum things that I would never be able to. And so I kept looking at these listings and thinking, that's an hour and a half drive. There.
Yeah.
So if I get there and the boat ain't worth it, that's a 3-hour day, So I didn't sort of do what I sometimes do, is like, wow, look at that, click, buy, regret later, because I was kind of pre-regretting the purchase,
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be an ultralight canoe. If it's something that gets you out into the water and you have a place to store it by the water, where you don't have to carry it over your head for a long distance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
For what buy that $400 or $500 canoe, if it gets you out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for what I'm calling sort of my training canoe, just to sort of get back into it, before I take the multi-day trip. I don't want one of those aluminum ones, because I do have to clamber down a bank of rock to put the boat in the water.
Right.
But, between that and one of those beautiful Swifts or Novacraft or what are they? H2O? Doesn't Christina?
H2O, yeah.
Christina paddles an H2O, right?
Yeah, it's gotten to be a popular brand. I got a couple buddies that have H2O canoes, and they absolutely love them.
And between those two weight classes, there's a million different canoes, So something that I can clamber down the rocks with without falling on my arse. But it doesn't have to be sort of my my long-term, my bucket list canoe.
Yeah. Well, just put it this way: you're not getting any younger, right?
Sure,
Get it while you can still use it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can still use it.
By the way, Kevin is taking a tack. That is not what you told us in the green room. I'm pretty sure I know what he's talking about. Country boy, it is his turn.
Kevin's been a part of many a back green room there, so he knows a lot of what goes on in the green rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I get a kick out of in the green rooms are the ones that just sit there really quiet and take it all in. It's like the show really just started. Like I could have like 4 guests on panel or five guests, or I'll invite a couple other people into the green room.
Yeah.
And it's the ones that sit there and down in the corner, the little box down here in the corner, right?
Yeah.
They're just sitting there, and you can see they're just taking it all in. Like, especially if they're not somebody that's been on the show very often,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know what to expect, and all of a sudden, all the f bombs and all the you know all the other details come out. Somebody that's really good in the back in the green room is Hap Wilson. Every time we have Hap Wilson in the back, he talks a lot more about the stuff that he can't talk about on screen here.
I have never had Hap Wilson on, and he's even like a Facebook friend of mine.
Yeah,
I've never had him on.
he's a very educated
Interesting
man.
guy.
He's a really good guest to have.
Yeah.
100%.
I was about to say something and I lost it. Oh, but there are 2 questions for you. One from Russell. How do you feel about AI in terms of the slop that's appearing on YouTube? Do you think we'll start seeing AI generated outdoors videos in the next few years?
I've kind of seen them already.
Yeah. The reason I like that question, I'm going to put it back on until it's answered. The reason I like that is because I have said many times on this channel that my views on AI are in line with Ed Zitron's views on AI. And he has looked into it a lot more than I have. And he is of the opinion that this thing is just going to burst.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to burst.
I think it sucks. I actually cannot stand it. Like even Instagram, Facebook, you see all like the memes and stuff. You don't know what the heck is real anymore. And
yep,
the SHIT that comes out now in most social media is exactly that.
Is that the
it's
shift?
Not even worth.
Are you saying the shift that's coming out right now? Is that
the shift that comes out? Yeah, I absolutely hate it, and I'm just hoping that I can understand maybe using some AI tools to help edit, but to try and AI generate an outdoor video, no, it's like this guy certainly will not watch it. I can understand it as a tool to help maybe enhance a video, but to make things appear as they don't in reality, I don't agree with that. I don't like that.
I like something you said there. Well, no, actually, I like a lot of what you said there, but one thing you said there made me roll. I think if I could, speaking as someone who hates AI, I mean, we're burning down the world to power these mega data centers, right? For nothing, for nothing useful. But if I could have access to an AI tool that would do a rough cut of my videos for me, that I could then go through and do the fine cut, that would save me like 4 hours. But it would have to know what I'm looking for, because I have a specific angle that I come at when I'm editing, and I will often shoot with that in mind. Like, could you imagine, Dennis, if you could just, here's the tool, give it all your footage, and have it sort of give you the skeleton of a video, that all you have to do then is like fix the timing here, fix the timing there. Like for guys like us who have lives that we're not Casey Neistat, we're not like, maybe I would hate AI just a little bit less.
Yeah. I could see maybe that there. That's why I say I'd imagine all these, because everything else is getting into it now. I'd imagine that editors are all going to start, newer editions are going to start coming out with AI enhancements and stuff like that to help. Help it. Well, are they? I have no idea, because I haven't cut a video in God knows how long.
Final Cut Pro uses it for like lighting adjustment and color matching. Yeah. It doesn't do it. It doesn't use it for anything like Avatar or anything like that, but it does use it to improve the color matching and stuff. It kind of makes me want to get out there and shoot a bunch of stuff so I can try it out.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of area where I used to say ad nauseam. So I'll say it one more time, and then that in the film industry, because I went to film school, where AI should be used is in replacing all the damned studio execs, because all they do is run algorithms, right? Like,
Yeah.
what kind of films have done the best over the past 5 years? This kind of film, this kind of film, this kind of film, right? That's all just algorithm stuff. Have AI replace all those guys, not the writers and the actors and the cinematographers. But anyways, I'm working very hard to not get political about AI. So I mean,
You know, I could see, like, one thing I could see is I've seen many a good video ruined by wind noise. And I know
yeah,
a lot of video editors have no or wind noise reducers, but
mm-hmm.
if there's something out there that could totally get rid of
Oh,
it, you know what I mean?
that would be
That would be an
amazing.
that's the type of enhancement I'm saying, is if you can have something that's going to help to enhance the video.
Yeah,
But I don't want to see any of these trees back here being AI generated. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Or the lake or the fish that the guy's catching. You hold this up and you tell AI, give me a 60-pound pike. You know
yeah,
what I
because then
mean?
you may as well just be shooting in front of a green screen, right?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. For subtle enhancements, I could see it as being a useful tool.
Yeah,
But for outdoor, like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's
Um,
got its limits.
here's another question from Kevin. You ready?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dennis, best memory of an interview where you told your family I nailed it.
Oh, there have been a couple. There have been a couple. One of my favorite interviews on my show has been Adam Schultz. Um, I've had him on three times, I believe, and each time the show has been now. Was it me that nailed it? I don't know, but the guests totally nailed it. Um, there's been a few guests or a few shows, and it's hard for me to remember exactly which ones that they are, because it's a few years back now. But I could tell you there's also a few shows where the total opposite of nailing it. It's like, oh my god, I'm so glad I got through that. And I
Right.
won't mention I those ones I know, and I will not mention them because
At
I
least
was.
not outside the green room.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, and not even for bad reasons, but I used to always write up an itinerary for a show,
Yeah.
and this isn't a complaint, but there's nothing that makes an interview harder than when you ask a question of a person and the answer is yes,
Oh, I know.
no,
Yeah.
you know, and they don't elaborate or they don't tell the story.
Yeah.
And what you want in an interview is somebody that tells a story. Like I could say to you, hey Jess, how was that trip that you went on? Was it any good last week? Yes. Oh, okay. Tell me a bit about it. So, and I've had a few
Yeah.
interviewees on the show that have, and I think maybe because live interview, maybe they're not as comfortable with it as well, and it makes it a little
Well,
more difficult. And that's where Kevin Callan always come into play, because Kevin would always come on the show and bail me out. Thank you once again. Yes.
um, I understand that though, because like I I'm so comfortable talking to a camera, which is weird because I didn't go to school for this part of it. But I do have, as the OGs on my channel know, I have debilitating social anxiety.
Mhm.
Last May I discovered it's because I'm neurodivergent as hell. So being able to hang that on something and know why is great, because it means that I have tools to deal with it. But um, I'm really good at masking it, like to the point where my boss is like, "What are you talking about? You're so good in groups." But like I had to say, "Listen, at 4:30 when I walk out of here and I sit down in my car, I fall apart because I just want to go to sleep because being here is exhausting." And so when I'm watching an interview and someone's like giving those one word answers, there are two things happening there. And I don't mean they're happening at the same time. I mean, there's usually one of the two things. One is they have a social problem that doesn't show up when they're talking to a lens, but the other is they hate interviews. And a great example of this is Sting hates being interviewed, right? So I've seen some interviews with Sting where he ain't given anything, but then I saw him be interviewed by Rick Beato. And Rick Beato is not just an interviewer, he's a musician and a producer. And so he's asking questions about the not, what were you thinking when you wrote these lyrics, but why did you go to the flat seventh there? And you could see Sting's eyes went bing, and he just started going. And then suddenly it wasn't just an interview where the interviewer is trying to pull answers from this guy. And Sting had his guitarist with him. Obviously, he's like, not the interview, come full support, but like it just became this three-way conversation where they're, talking, and then Sting and this guy are singing a couple of lines and like playing a few things. And there's so much that happens when there's some guy giving you like these short little, he might have just lost his dog or something. But it's nobody wakes up in the morning and says, today I shall be an asshole, right?
Right. Yeah.
He said, hoping to hell he's right about that. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like when someone's like, meh, 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 it could be a number of things. And so when I have someone doing that, I've never had it on my show before, but I have had it in other contexts. I always try to figure out, okay, what's happening here, right? Because if the guy's being an asshole, I'm gonna try to play with that. If the guy's uncomfortable, I'm gonna drop back and I'm gonna come in real gentle, kind of thing, because I understand that guy.
Yeah.
I don't understand the guy who's angry to be interviewed, because I almost never say yes, I will be interviewed, because of everything I just said. But if you say yes to an interview, if anyone here, I'm talking too much. I'm supposed to be interviewing Dennis. Okay, I'll tell this one little thing.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Quebec, and so whereas everyone in Ontario would have known about Much Music, and BC would have known, and Alberta and all those would have known about Much Music, in Quebec and parts of Ontario and like New Brunswick and stuff, we also had Music Plus. In fact, I don't know if we had much in Quebec. I think I could have it on another cable channel. French language version of Much Music. And I think it was like Blind Melon or someone who was big at some point was being interviewed on the show. And the way they did it back then, because technology, was the interviewer would ask the questions in English and then turn to the audience, because it was always a studio audience. And he would turn to the audience and then translate. Okay? And this guy, whenever the guy turned and spoke to the audience in French, he was like, "You're saying shit about me, aren't you?" And the guy's like, "No, I'm just." And so the guy ended up, like, he got so worked up that he ended up just sort of like, well, this is done, and walking off. And the interviewer was like, and the whole audience, like, this guy lost some fans on that day,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, don't say yes to the interview, because you're going to ruin the show for yourself and the interviewer and everyone watching. There's a lot riding on an interview show.
There is. It helps when the person you're interviewing is comfortable on screen, though. It's different, like you say, when it's recorded, and then when it's actually live, right? So, and you as an interviewer, you're allowed to tell stories too. It makes it more interesting, I think.
Oh yeah, but I mean, my mind was polluted by film school and communications, right? Where the best interviewers, when I was growing up, would just ask a question and then get out of the way and let the story come forth. But I do, every now and again, someone says something, I'm like, which was a big problem when Kevin has been on, because he says things that make me yes and, like, all the time.
Yeah.
Speaking of whom, nope.
He always comes up with good questions, that guy.
Yeah. David has a cheap canoe, but it gets him out on the water. And I've been in that canoe. I have met so far 2 YouTubers in person, and he's one of them. That was a nice morning, that canoe ride. A little pre-breakfast There we go. There's Country Boy saying it's Jess for some reason. I don't know why. I just Chris says I think it was Jess. Oh, maybe did we glitch? Yeah, this is back to
Oh, okay. You're that far back in the chat
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. I am so late. Destiny says, "We hear and see you, boat." Jess's audio went out for a second. Okay, okay. Okay,
Okay,
everyone
so
just
I thought it might have been me because I'm so used to back when I had my show there. I had some shows that were, I don't know if you remember, I had Camper Christina on, and the power in the neighborhood went out, so I lost
Oh yeah, and
everything.
so she totally took over.
She totally took over the show.
Yeah.
She was on for like a half an hour by herself, and
And
she did
by the
a
way,
fantastic job. Yeah,
she's also lovely as an interviewee.
yeah.
Absolutely. Like good stories, good like on-screen presence, very comfortable. Exactly what I'm talking about. Very easy to talk to. Apparently I said something that that super good liked pre-regret. Oh, the pre-regretting. um hold on a second. I'm just
That was good.
Jim is asking you a question. Have you ever tripped on the Nagamams Nagagamasis?
Nagamagasi. No, I can't say as I have. Uh,
Where is that?
Nagamagasi.
Nagamagasi.
It sounds familiar, but no, I would remember if I had paddled it. I've paddled the Nebaquasi.
Yeah.
If that's but that's
Oh,
probably a
here's
different area.
Jim is also asking, any idea what happened to the avid outdoorsy guy? He started a long trip, then cut it short, then disappeared. Yeah, I miss Ethan in a big way.
Yeah,
The magic went out of it for him. I mean, he's still tripping. I think it's just he's not shooting.
I had a good chat with him one time, and not to get too much into it, but he had a lot going on in his life. But the biggest thing were all the naysayers. Some of the comments he would get just really got to him. And sometimes when you put a video out and you put all your heart into it, and it's your passion, and people speak negatively about you, it really it's like sticking a knife in the side of your tire. You know, it lets all the air out, and you just sort of lose a passion for it.
Yeah.
I haven't spoke with him in quite a long time,
No,
but
I mean neither.
hopefully he's doing well, and hopefully he's still putting the paddle in the water. That'd be a great thing.
I'm sure he is. I mean, you could see that he loved being out there, and like what really gets me about him not being around anymore is that doing what we do is an act of vulnerability because we put out stuff we work hard I got to re-say that because that was grammatically. We work hard at stuff and we put it up and we hope people are going to like it. And every now and again, someone doesn't and they drop a comment. And I have two approaches. One is thank you for commenting because it tickles the algorithm for me anyway. But the other is like, if you have a problem with what I'm doing, fine. It's a philosophy and it's yours and you have the right to it. Make me a fucking video. Oh, I just swore on my own live stream.
No, you said flocking. You said flocking.
Make me a flocking video about it. Like, yes. I will. We don't have to agree. I will. The word I'm looking for is respect your opinion, your right to have the opinion. If you make me a video about it, if you don't just hide behind the keyboard, if you know what it's like to work your arse off, put something up and have the conversation that way, because you know what? I'll have that conversation. Mm-hmm. I'll have that conversation. You know what? A couple of guys over the last, I've been doing the bushcraft YouTube since 2013. So I've gotten some comments, dude, especially because I had decided early on that the mistakes stay on camera. You know, yeah. I will cut something boring or what. I will cut anything to leave the mistake on camera and not do too long a video. Yeah. And some of those comments have been cruel, but some of them have been cruel, but kind of right. And some of them have just been cruel for no reason. And some of them have been constructive criticism. So I have become better at my outdoor skills because of the feedback I get from the viewers, which is amazing because you don't get that when you're making TV shows, right? But make the video, know what it's like to do what we do.
Hmm.
Because once I found out what it's like to do what we do, my comments to other people got much, much kinder. I will do whatever it takes to not drop like a nasty comment on someone. If I reach out to another YouTuber or another or whatever TikTok, whatever, 99% of the time I want to bring the light when I leave a comment, and I think that that is what we just, if you're going to comment on someone, if you're going to reach out and touch someone, make it something that they will be glad, maybe eventually, to have read.
Yeah. Sometimes constructive criticism isn't bad too, if it's
No,
if
it's
it's put
fine.
out there the right way. See, it's always been my belief that if if you watch YouTube videos on a computer where you have easy access to one of these things, right?
Yeah.
Why not hit the thumbs up? Why not? Speaking of which, hit the thumbs up for the show. I only see 14 up there right now. But you know what? Hit the thumbs up and leave a comment. It doesn't hurt that if it's a show that you've actually watched or a video that you've actually watched. It means so much to a content creator. It really is
Yeah.
it really is the fuel that drives a content creator is to either one know he's or she has done a good job, or to get some sort of small compliment, or to learn how to do it better.
Hmm.
Um, there's some great YouTube content creators out there right now that are great. They just don't have the following, and because they don't pick up the right following because they're not getting the right algorithm boosts through comments or what have you, they lose interest because they think they're going nowhere. The success
Hmm.
rate of a YouTube channel is so small.
Yeah, it's very
They say
small.
it's like 0.5% out of like 100%
Yeah.
are the ones that will reach or even surpass 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
I've always been fortunate. My subscriber count, I think I'm like 7,200 or something like that. But I've always had good subscribers, those that have actually watched the channel, or those are the ones that you want. But in reality, if you have the ability to support a channel, do it, because like I say, so many of them drift away. Like you just mentioned, avid outdoorsy guy. David Lee is another one that comes to mind. And there's a few others that I really used to watch on a regular basis.
Scrambled
And
dough.
all of a sudden, one day, you just notice that they haven't put anything out in so long.
Yeah.
I'll challenge everybody. Go through your subscriber list of the channels that you subscribe to. Go way, way, way deep down and see all the channels that you used to watch and enjoy. You subscribe to them, and they've sort of just faded out and drifted away.
Yeah.
And it's not easy being a YouTuber and producing and putting out weekly videos of trips or anything. It can be anything. It doesn't even have to be in the outdoor genre, right? But there's so much that goes into it, and to support a small YouTube channel and be encouraging, it makes them want to produce more.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean? Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
One of the channels that is gone and kind of it hurts is Scrambled Dough. I used to,
Scrambled. Oh,
you know,
there's another one. Yeah,
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 Cody and I bonded early on Martin's stuff. She loved
yeah,
the, folks.
yeah, yeah,
If ever I wanted her attention and she was doing something, I'd just put on one of his video and like as soon as the folks, tick, 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 tick,
yeah.
tick. What you doing, Daddy?
I
Obviously
think that's part of the
before.
reason too why I've started taking on such an interest in like the homesteading videos, because that seems to be really popular right now, and there's quite a few of the channels out there.
Mhm.
Um, so to watch them is I have a ritual. I wake up Saturday morning. I go and get my bowl of Cheerios and Frosted Flakes, mix them together with a little bit of
Mhm.
milk, grab my coffee, and I sit down on a Saturday morning, and right away I watch Cabin River Outdoors. and then I'll watch James Aloff there, Wild Homestead. And then later on in the day, after I've done my chores around the house and done whatever, yada yada, I'll walk the dogs, come back in, and then I'll watch What in the World. So I watch my 3 videos on the Saturday. Sunday, I got a couple homesteading ones I watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then through the week, well, it's like nothing. So
Got it.
yeah.
There's another great question from Kevin. Dennis,
Yep.
the one show that didn't go as you planned.
Oh gosh, Kevin probably I think he's trying to poke the line here. He's trying
I
to
think
wake up
he's
the bear.
poking that
Yeah.
question he asked you about. What was the other question he asked you? The one where I was like, "Are you sure you want this?" It's because like you answered it better than. Like it was one of those questions where it's kind of hard to answer. What I'm scrolling back to
Yeah, well,
find it.
the one about kissing the wife coming out and
Not that one. Which one was it?
well, the green.
Oh,
I
no.
can answer this one though, and I won't
Yeah.
mention any names, but I did have one show without mentioning the name, and it was probably 2 hours before the show. I received notification that the guest was not going to appear on the show, and it was a rather big guest, and it was a well anticipated show,
Yep.
and I spent the hour and a half before the show battling back and forth saying, like F, you're going to be on the show because my viewers are expecting you to be on the show. And this person did end up being on the show, and we got through the entire interview. He actually clicked in a couple minutes late. Oh, I just gave a clue away. It was a he. He clicked in a few minutes late.
We weren't exactly on time either, by the way, tonight.
Yeah, well, no. That there wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
and to leave the show, he clicked out, and there was no green room conversation or nothing. It was just done. And from that day forward, I said that person would never be back on my show. But although the interview did go quite well.
But like, how do you feel after a show like that? Because like I'm sure like the interview shows that I did or the panel discussions where they've gone really good, and the green room was great afterwards, and then everyone says like I went to bed sort of on a high because I was like, that is why I do this. Yeah. But like, how do you feel when it goes like that? Like. Because you work hard on it.
It wasn't a good feeling, and believe me, it was the show went off without a hitch, like this part, right? Went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
But it was it was 2 people really wearing their game faces. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Like nothing during the show really indicated that there was an issue.
Okay.
I was given an excuse, and the excuse was obviously just an excuse because the show still went off.
Mm-hmm.
But it at the end, I'll tell you, man, if you could have seen me before the show and after the show, I had like the cartoons. I had steam coming out the ears,
sweating.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Country Boy says, for reference, Shannon Hoon, the blind melon guy, was a drug-addled arsehole that hated the world and was always looking for a fight. Okay, well, that explains a lot. Like, it was a band that I wasn't a fan of, so I didn't know anything about them. But Michel Plourde as a question: does Dennis still have merch available? I was like, mech. Oh. I'm like, well, it's Battlestar, he has the coolest hats. Do you still have merch?
I still do have my my Teespring account going. You can go through my account. There's no hats on there. Being a guy in the print industry, I have all my hats made for me. And I do sell them occasionally when I go to the outdoor shows, and I still probably do have a few left over. But yeah, if you're interested in something there, I'll gladly give you a good deal on it. This has always been a popular one. I think Kevin Callan even has one of these. I never seen.
I was going to say I would wear that hat.
Yeah,
I would wear that. Like I don't like mesh backs or anything, but that's cool.
Yeah, what is? I don't even know what that is. It's just yeah. I don't care.
That's
Some
cool.
people get really fussy over these. I don't care what it looks like. It's a hat.
Right. Right.
It fits, right?
And Michelle also says, don't put people down for trying something is what I think. I'd have a channel, but I'm not brave enough. Takes Gus. You know what? Let me put this. This is an argument. No, it's a conversation I've had a lot over the years, and every time I'm about to have it, I have to sort of think it through before I go, because otherwise it sounds really shite. We're creative people. Whether school knocked it out of you and turned you into just like an automaton who stamps papers all day, or whether you're a bus driver, or whether you're a mathematicians are very creative, but like we're creative people. And if you want to try something like YouTubing or painting or playing the guitar, or in my case, playing the bass guitar, or writing poetry, anything, try it. Try it. You'll be better at it than you thought. What is that?
North to a Country Boy said North to Alaska is a good channel, so I got to check that out.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down as well. But like, look, shoot a couple of videos, put them up, see if you like the results, and then see if people are watching it. North to Alaska, you said?
Yeah, North to Alaska. You know, what my advice is: do a video, post a video for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If it catches on, it catches on. If it doesn't, you're capturing and you're saving memories for yourself. That's how I started my YouTube channel. I wanted to put trip videos on there that were videos of memories of past trips, right? Mm-hmm. Things that you can't remember just by looking at a picture. And after you've done so many of them that, they all start blending into each other.
Yeah.
But I have trip videos that I can just go back now. And I do from time to time. I go back and I watch them just not for the click. It's just for, to go there and
for
it's
the
a memory
memories
of the trip, right? And I got about 9 or 10 more in a can there that I have to find time to edit. So
yeah, I rewatch the ones where I'm camping with the girls.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
Here's another Kevin question, but I don't know. Question, Dennis, did one of your fans see you in person and realize you're sexier than they ever realized?
Yeah, you, Kevin. I remember you saying, "Oh, there you are, you sexy beast."
Michelle says he thought you were taller. He thought I was taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there. There's two sexy beasts right there.
Look at that. Look at those couple of hotties.
It's not coming into focus, but
yeah, but I saw it. I recognize those guys. One word, Dennis. Why not continue and why continue with your show? Why not continue and why continue with your show?
Oh, okay. He knows. He should know the answer to this too. Why not continue right now? Like I say, I'm just trying to set myself up for my retirement, hopefully in a couple of years, and I want to make sure that my business is where it should be. Like I say, with the amount of time that I devoted to the show, it really did hurt my business. I seen it in the accounting software how it actually hurt. Now that I'm back at it, she's back going and everything is good. The other thing that we're very active. When my first grandson was born, and then my second grandson was born, and then my third grandson was married into the family. We spent so much time. We were very close with our children. My two daughters, our son-in-laws, and 3 grandkids, and we're very close. And we spend a lot of time together. And that's probably one of the reasons why right now I'm not doing the show. And you and I kind of talked about a little bit in the green room before the show. It was costing me a fortune to do this show. As you know, or anybody that's ever used StreamYard changed their pricing structures. I know there's other streaming software applications out there now that can be used to do what we're doing. The one that Jess is using here right now, Talk Studio, I believe it's called.
Although
still pay for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
definitely pay for it.
yeah,
Um,
but you know what? It's not what StreamYard was charging, and
yeah,
the
true.
channel wasn't making a lot of money. And for me, it wasn't about making money on it. But if you've seen what I have invested, like this stuff here, my wife always say, "What do you do with the stuff down? What do you do with your studio down there now? You're not using it; it's collecting dust, right? And it's got, as you can see, the wall's still up and everything else. Eh?
Yeah,
There's a lot that went into it, and it was just there were a lot of factors that just got into it, including the burnout. Now,
yeah.
why do the show, or will I ever do the show again in the future? As I mentioned earlier, I would love to do the show again in the future. I think maybe I just need that cattle prod in the behind there to get me off my backside to, you know, get it going again. But if it's any indication on the difficult time I had getting into the live stream here today, getting it set up there, and I'm sure that was just an isolated incident. It's going to take me a little bit of work to get back into it. Talking to the sponsors, refreshing myself, and not even talking to the sponsors for the money, but just letting them know that I'm still around, and I'd still endorse all their products 100% for free. Because they're products I endorse or believe in. Uh, and why do it again? Because I miss talking to my people here.
Hmm.
You're my people, the people in the chat, all the people that watch the show.
Compelling
I
argument
really
for
do.
sure.
I do miss it. I really do miss it.
I see that Nate Muskoka has joined us. Hi, Nate.
Hey, Nate.
How's it going? I'm looking for. Here's an interesting question. Let me scroll to it. I'm scrolling. From Russell, what's your favorite type of fish to catch? What's your favorite type of fish to eat?
Okay.
That one I find interesting because I don't fish. As the OGs on my channel know, is I'm allergic to any like all the oily fish, the fatty fish. I'm thinking poisson gras. So whatever that is in English, is that oily fish?
Yeah. Yeah.
Salmon, shark,
Like
stuff
the
like that.
salmon, trout type of stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Kill me dead.
Whitefish.
It'll kill me dead. Um,
That would be like red meat fish, right?
yeah,
Basically. Yeah.
yeah. So because I don't know enough about that, it created this whole sort of thing between me and the fish that like I never bothered learning what kind of fish glitch, what the kind of fish that I could eat would look like as whole fish before you rip the skin off.
Mm-hmm.
So like I never took up fishing, you know. So I find this question compelling as hell.
Yeah, well, my favorite fish to eat in order, if we're talking like fish I'm catching in northern lakes, first would be perch, then walleye, then bass, then pike, and then whatever else beyond that. Uh, I'm not huge on like cooked salmon and stuff like that, so I'd rather eat it as sushi. Favorite fish to catch, a monster northern pike is my all-time favorite. But after that, there a nice hard-fighting smallmouth bass. Yeah, yeah,
It's easy to find the northern pikes too. You just listen for a teen land.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you know, okay, so you know that episode, that Ray Mears episode where he's in Sweden, and Lars Felt comes across the river, the lake, and brings him this salmon, and he says, "I will let you have this salmon if you can show me how the Indians cook it." Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't actually.
Okay, so I rewatch um, Ray Mears because he's like audiovisual comfort food to me, and especially like the ones where he's going across Canada and talking about like Thompson and all these guys, and where he was in Sweden. And so there's one episode where Lars Felt sort of paddles over to where he's camping and brings him a salmon, and he wants to see how the First Nations people would, split it and put it between like those sticks over a
Yeah,
fire. I wish I could eat salmon so I could try that because I found that process so compelling. Like the things that attract me to something is not always the thing itself, this knife is beautiful. For instance, great, knife gives me the fizz, but sometimes it's the way something is done that gives me that same kind of like must try. And so like when I saw how he had sort of like spatchcocked the salmon and he put it, in that way, um, I would love to try that. Not enough to kill myself with a salmon, but I mean, like, I don't know if it would work with a white fish. Like if white fish fall apart more easily or something, because I know that salmon and tuna and stuff are kind of steaky in many ways. Like I've touched them before, and they feel more kind of red meat, more
Mhm.
solid than a lot of the white fish. So I wonder if that would work. I'd like to try that someday.
Just have your EpiPen handy. That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, out in the bush where the EpiPen only gives you like an hour to get to a hospital. But like,
yeah.
tell my kids I love them, and I died doing what I loved. There was a comedian on the CBC once who said, "I don't want to die doing what I love. I want to die doing what I hate, so I don't have to finish."
Hmm.
And that's like words of wisdom for me. Well, that was a weird turn of conversation. Yeah. Yeah. Here's
That's the
Nate
best part
saying,
about a live interview is you don't know what
it's
direction
like,
it's gonna
where'd
go
that?
sometimes, right?
That sort of came out of nowhere. Yeah, Nate is saying, looks like I found the couch just in time for the ending. Oh no, we're still here for, we're still
I've
here for
had
a bit.
many an episode where, like I say, I had that itinerary with questions on there, and it just
There's,
like take that thing and just poof, do the
yep.
David Letterman thing with it, right? Just toss
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Michel Plul says, we definitely miss you, Canoehound. We're not going to pressure
Thank you,
Dennis.
thank you.
When it is time to pressure Dennis, I will kick his arse for everyone. I'll use the cattle prod. Maybe we should be prodding each other over the next little while to, I don't know. I feel something needs to prod me to get back into making videos again.
It's
Nate is
funny.
busy but
Last
good.
early September, I put out a teaser on Facebook. I just wrote on there in big, had a big black box, and it just said September.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did have intentions of starting the show back up in September, and then something come up
I was gonna
with
say it's
ailing or elder parents and stuff
okay.
like that, and it kind of put the kibosh on that one there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, gee, but yeah,
Here's another good one from Kevin. You would almost think that Kevin has done some interviews himself. Almost. Um, what was the original spark for being on YouTube / the show? And did the end of COVID change everything all of a sudden? Change for all of us on social stuff like this?
the original spark. Okay, so back in the day, I think. I think I even knew you before the show started. There was a bunch of us on YouTube that used to get on, and we just get on like somebody would have a little live chat or something, and we get on there, and it wasn't like out there. It was out there for everybody, but nobody else would be on watching. It's just a bunch of guys in the bushcraft and canoeing, and we all just basically it was like a chat room for us. And I don't know if many of you remember good old Sty North.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stein North ended up being in some of these chats, and we became friends on YouTube. And one time, after one of his shows that were live streams that we were on, we got to chatting, and I told him, I said, you know what I'd really like to do? I said, I've never seen haven't really seen anything like this on YouTube. Is somebody interviewing different YouTubers in the outdoor community, right?
Yep.
And he ended up being my very first interview. Good old Stein North. God rest his soul. He's
I was
passed
gonna say
away.
I'm gonna have a drink to Stein North.
Stein North, everybody, for sure.
Poor guy.
Um, he was a fantastic individual. He had stories, stories upon stories. He's one of them guys that's done everything in life, type of thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he really encouraged me to try the show. So we started. I think our first live stream was like a 6 hour show, right? But it's because it just at the end turned into like everybody coming on and just being chatting, right? And then then we moved on to I think one of my first guests that I actually reached out to somebody was Pine Martin.
Also
And
a
then
great guy, by the
yeah,
way.
and then Kevin was like episode 6 or something like that. And yeah, you know what? It just started picking up steam. You know, I seen an interest for it, and that was a spark. Was something that during COVID it filled a void for me, and it
Mm-hmm.
filled a void for a lot of people to do something on a. I think when I first started, we were on Thursday nights, and then I had to switch to Tuesday nights because my wife and I bowled on Thursday nights. Uh, and yeah, so things just kind of progressed, right? And
Right.
that was the spark for doing it. Did COVID change everything for all of us on COVID? Or like, I think it did. I think it did. Everybody wanted to get out of the house, and they couldn't, and to see it all on YouTube
Yeah.
was our escape, right?
Mm-hmm. True. Well, I mean, the reason I started my whiskey channel was because when COVID first struck, I don't know what it was like in Ontario, but the highways in Quebec had checkpoints, and you weren't allowed out of your region unless you had, like, I got to get to Quebec City. My mom's ailing or something. My mother
Yeah,
does not really live in Quebec City. I'm just pulling an example out of the ether.
yeah,
And so I couldn't go to the bush to shoot my YouTube stuff. And so I was like, if I don't shoot stuff, he said, sounding like a psychopath, if I don't video stuff, I'm going to go nuts. Because I mean, I went to film school, right? I started YouTube because I could not afford to make indie films. And when I discovered YouTube, I was like, you mean you're not wasting thousands of dollars per week on a craft table for extras? But I couldn't, and I needed to shoot something. So I was like, well, what else do I do?
mm-hmm.
I like whiskey. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, so in many ways, like, look, the plague years changed things for many people, for sure. For one of my friends, because she has long COVID and has ever since.
Yeah.
But that's a different context. And I think I just hijacked your answer.
That's okay, man. No, 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 no. You know what? Because it's so true. Yeah, you nailed it. Couldn't have said it better myself, Jess.
Well, I'm here to help. There's some people dropping fish here. Winter pike. Apparently, there's a winter pike.
Yeah, winter pike through the ice. That's always a battle. Yeah, especially on a little 2 foot fishing pole.
Yeah, those little ones, and you're just waiting for one to go. Like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Jim says
yeah.
brookies are the best. So that's a trout. So oh yeah, he even says they'll kill me. Yeah, I'm not gonna. You know what? I just got this memory. So my wife loves fish. Her mom's family's from Gaspésie, so fish, shellfish, lobster. I mean, the food of the sea, right? Because Gaspé. And Camille also likes fish and shrimp and stuff a lot. And I took her to work one day because I don't know why. This is like she was small, like 7 or something. And so in the bistro at work, there's always like a meat, a veg, something like a sandwich, and like a fish. And there was a rainbow trout with mashed potatoes and some veggies, whatever. And Camille said, I want the fish. And I loved that because I, as an adult, would never have the fish. So when a kid says, I want the fish, I always kind
Right.
of think that's really cool. And so
Yeah.
she took the fish and she just devoured. I mean, the bistro where I work, it was a big ass hunk of fish, right? And it was gone. And I think about that sometimes because it mystifies me. Because of my weirdness with fish, it mystifies
Yeah.
me whenever someone's like, man, I love me some fish. I'm going to have the salmon. I'm like, wow, I'm going to put the gun in my mouth. You
I,
know?
I agree with the rainbow trout thing, but or not the rainbow, sorry, the brook
The
trout.
brookies. Yeah.
But Kevin Callan, no comments in the chat about this. I still to this day have never caught a brook trout.
Never caught a brook trout.
I've never caught a brook trout. I've never really fished for them.
Okay.
I've never really had the opportunity to fish for them. But yeah, so like if somebody wants to take me out fishing for brook trout where I'm going to catch some, man, I'm game. I'm ready to go now.
I would love to talk to a bunch of fishing guys, fishing peeps,
Yeah.
those who fish, because like you don't use the same hooks and lures and stuff for the, you know, you don't use the same technique for every fish. I'd love to know, you know, what the difference is between like wide mouth bass and like brookies and stuff. You know, like some are shallow water fish, some are deep water fish. I just
Hmm.
like stuff like that, subjects like that where everything about it is magical to me. I always want to hear about, you know, fishing, the galaxy, rocks. I just anytime I go to bed less stupid than I wake up is a good day. So whenever there's something like that that I know nothing about, I want to hear everything. Hey, Zach Fudge is here. All hail the L, Zach. Having a drawn out complication with Intelcom/Dragonfly losing your package for a week. Well, let me, if it ever gets too bad, I'll tell you about UPS one day, okay?
Uh-huh.
Those guys are Satan's children, and I will never take that back. Um,
Satan's children.
oh, I hate them. I hate them. If I'm ordering something, if I see something online that gives me the fizz, and I see that it's UPS, I do not buy it. I don't care where it's coming from, especially if it's coming from the United States. It's been a nightmare every single time. Shut up, Jesse. Let's move on. Um, Steve Grounds, how you doing? How's it going, Mr. Nine Toes? What did you walk into? You walked into the first interview show I've been brave enough to do since that last one with Kevin, where he was treated badly and I was mortified. Everyone's saying hi. Everyone's saying hi. I'm looking for more questions for you. There we go. Actually, this looked like kind of a like an offhand question, but it's actually a great question. What's your ideal? Thank you, Russell. This is actually a fabulous question. What's your ideal YouTube life after retirement? I'll tell you why I like that question, because it's exactly
Yeah.
the same question as what's your ideal YouTube life after winning 30 million bucks, or like after winning the, like,
Yeah.
you no longer have to work and you don't have to worry about it.
My ideal YouTube life after retirement would be to get the channel going again, pick up about 500,000 subscribers, be making about 80,000 a month. Great way to supplement the retirement. But
Yeah.
back to reality.
If you're making 80,000 bucks a month off of YouTube, which of them is the supplement? The
Yeah,
RRSP or the yeah.
that would be ideal, but conditions are far from ideal for something like that. I don't think very few in our genre would be able to achieve something like that.
Yeah. You know, I excuse me.
It's got don't
Sorry.
forget YouTube. You got to do it full time to really have it pay off, right? The
And even
guys like
then,
the Bairds and the
yeah.
Robinettes and all these people. Kevin Callan and I remember one YouTuber who told us that this person was going to quit their job to become a full time YouTuber, and Kevin and I just kind of
Terrifying
both
thought.
looked at each other and said, "Well, we didn't say anything, but we knew exactly what we were both thinking." But it's like,
Terrifying.
yes, yes,
Um that's why
hard
for
to be.
me it's like, I do, you finish the question and then I'll answer.
Yeah. Who asked
Or
the question?
no, like you finish your answer and then I'll say something.
Yeah, no. That was it. Like, yeah,
Okay.
I
Cuz
couldn't imagine quitting my job to become a full time YouTuber.
yeah,
I like the certainty, right?
I have this thought experiment, which is me trying to make a daydream sound more legit. Um, of if I didn't have to work, okay, maybe we won like a passel of money. Maybe my wife, I didn't have to work. I know what my days would look like, right? I would get the kids ready, do the breakfast, make her coffee, get everyone out the door, spend an hour doing some light cleaning. But, and like, so long as I had supper ready by the time everyone came home, maybe do some laundry, whatever, a large section of my day would go into writing up YouTubes, planning YouTube trips, and then on the weekends or whatever, doing actual bushcraft trips again, right? Because I'm not too tired after 5 days of working in the trenches or whatever. Like I have this fantasy plotted out. I'm just not ready to win the lottery yet. But I think, I think I'm
I am.
almost I think I'm almost there,
I am.
so I may do it soon. But like to me, I mean, I have it fully mapped out, and there's a bunch of YouTubers who I would have seen in person by now if that ever happened, for sure. And I would have a vehicle and a boat, for
Well,
sure.
yes, you know what? It depends what type of lottery you're looking at, because in my opinion, I've already hit the lottery. I've got a fantastic wife. I've got two great daughters. I've got
Mhm.
grandchildren and stuff. Life is happy. My health is still good, and to me, that's the money. Money is nice, but it isn't everything, man. I'll tell you, it's being alive is winning the lottery, in my opinion. So that's, would it be nice to hit a $10 million Lotto 649 or something? Oh, hell yeah!
No.
But
Go
you
big
know
or
what?
go home. Go big or go
Yeah,
home. 30
yeah.
mil. Come on, dude.
Well, whatever, dude. Whatever. You know what? I don't even gamble because I know I'm not going to win, so I'm not
Me
going to hit that
neither.
lottery. So
But if I did win 30 mil, I would have a hobby distillery.
yeah. There you go. And I
Yeah.
buy some of that.
Yeah. Oh, apparently Steve's been here all night. Okay. Good to know. I would just send you a bottle. Hobby distillery is I don't have to make anything off it, you know. Uh, Zach says long COVID is brutal. Your friend hasn't had her sense of taste in 18 months. Yeah. I'm just looking. There's another question. This is actually a good question. I thought for a second that Russell was just being a brat. The thing is, I often think Russell's about to be a brat, and then there's a good question in there. What's your worst camping or canoeing experience?
Not being able to get dry. Uh, done several trips where you have nothing but rain day and night for 2, 3, 4 days, to the point where your gear is starting to smell musty. Your clothing is starting to smell musty on you, right? Just because
Yeah,
you can't get dry. That's
nothing
absolutely
worse.
the worst.
Yeah,
I've
that
never had a
sucks.
bad experience with a bear. I've had bears in the area, but I've never had a bad experience with bears. And aside from that little spill that I had this year on the trip there, where I got to ride the Little Mizunabie River Rapids for free, um, yeah,
Bonus.
that's just being wet and cold.
Yeah, nothing sucks more than putting wet socks back on, right?
Oh, it's horrible. It's
Yeah,
horrible. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Or being near hypothermia, because
Mhm.
in the summer, being near hypothermia because you've dumped and you can't get warm or dry. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for
It's
sure.
happened. Yeah.
Absolutely. Nate says that brook trout are delicious, but it's the ice out hunt for them that makes it extra fun.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there were like. T- so my
Best
wife and
best time to fish for them, ice out.
really,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
why?
they're shallow and
Oh, okay.
they're hungry.
Well, which is probably why they're shallow, right? Um. Oh, apparently
Says the guy
Russell's
who hasn't caught a brook trout.
right.
But I know. But I know.
Russell says in one of his past lives he did a lot of shipping, like a lot of shipping every day. DHL was by far the worst shipping company to deal with. I
Yeah.
saw a DHL truck come swooping into a parking spot and take the front bumper clean off one of those Audi SUVs. And that's summed up DHL for me in a nutshell, but still not as bad as UPS for me. Russell has I should have checked this before clicking.
I've been
Actually,
waiting for this one.
that's a pretty good one. If you could have
Yeah.
the ideal cabin overlooking a nice stream, describe it.
Okay, so originally years ago, I always wanted lakefront property, and that kind of changed. I always said, okay, you know what? Now I'd rather have a nice bush lot somewhere with a stream or a creek running through it. Uh, everybody's into building these log cabins and doing all the work themselves and cutting down the trees and debarking them and
Yeah.
yeah, me, a 10 by 20 board and batten, maybe steel roof on it with a nice little veranda, and that's about it. That would be my haven. Don't know if I'm ever going to achieve that in my lifetime because the age I'm at now, and I have a hard time getting up north. But when I do, it's always in a canoe. But yeah, if I had that opportunity to have something like that, it'd be like a 10 by 20 board and batten.
Just for you?
Pardon?
Just for you, like a getaway?
No. Gosh, no. Are you kidding? My family would have to be a part of it too. If my son-in-laws and my daughters would like to invest in a property now that we could call a family property, I'd be all over that. But it'd have to be in a nice area that's accessible for all. Right?
So I would like to be in an off-grid, ideally log, but at this point, like an off-grid cabin, a little wind turbine and some solar panels. The missus requires the mod cons. I want to be away from the mod cons. So maybe I could see a property with a board and batten cabin at the front and an off-grid cabin all the way at the back where I can shoot my videos and live my off-grid life on the weekends. And no one would ever know that I'm just on the back end of a lot with a fully functioning cabin at the front or something. I mean, this is all assuming I suddenly had an influx of many, many ducats, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently Jay Leger, wait, he's from Newfoundland, isn't he?
Jay Leger, yeah, I watch him all the time too.
Yep. It's just I see the word Leger, that word, and I think Leger, right? Yeah. So he quit his job. I think that where he lives is a benefit if you're going to do that, though, right? Look at the guys we know who shoot in the far north, like Yukon, Northwest Territories. I'm thinking about him. I'm thinking about Dave. Oh no, I just totally blanked.
Oh, Dave, north of 60?
Yes, Dave, north of 60. Yeah, with Vivian. And, these guys are shooting in territory that is so foreign to so many people that I think if I lived up there, it would be within the realm of possibility. But sitting in southern Quebec, which may as well be southern Ontario, which may as well be Maine, which may as well be northern Vermont or Maine or whatever, it's a little harder because there's a whole lot of people in exactly the same mixed broadleaf forest as me, right? Whereas there's something about the north that it compels people. It compels me like you wouldn't believe, Alaska, people are like, oh yeah, the Yukon, yeah. North of the Arctic Circle, for God's sakes, yeah, Within 15 minutes of the American border, there's a lot of people shooting a lot of videos.
Right, yeah. That's my case, man. I'm a northern boy that was born in the South. It's like, oh man,
I need
born
to see
in the wrong geographical area. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Jay Leger is pretty cool. That guy, he's another YouTuber. He's got so many projects on the go. He just built a yurt out there in Nova Scotia or something, he's got his tent videos that he puts out and his cabin, and then another cabin he's destroying. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah. Hold on. Russell says, I'm often a brat. Jess's hesitation is well justified. Russell, we've known each other long enough now that I'm like, oh, should I have clicked that? Read. No, I should not have clicked that one.
There's that Raspberry Rock guy that I watch once in a while too. I'll watch him fight with his little excavator and stuff like that. So
Michel Plourde says for him it's the stiff frozen boots and winter camping. I still, dude, I still do not have my winter my hot tent and stuff. Like I have been in a holding pattern for like 2 or 3 years at this point.
Yeah.
But I love nighttime when it's frigid outside and it's warm inside. Like when I used to go hunting, I used to love crawling into bed at the end of and hearing the wind. But the wood stove was keeping us nice and warm. And of course, I mean, hunting is so exhausting that like you'd fall into bed like I shall expire,
Yeah.
and just
I see with Nate there, the winter camping. It's coming up pretty soon, man. I pulled my hot tent out the other day and the stove, and they're staged in the garage already. And
I'm gonna miss it again this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So Nate, I'll be seeing you when I come up there to Mew Lake or something, or maybe we'll get out and do a backcountry thing there for a weekend.
So what my goal is for that is once Camille's freaking braces are paid for,
Always
I'll have
something.
some money,
Yeah, always something.
because that's like 13 grand just like right off the top. But yeah, yeah, so much stuff I want to do. Hold on. David is going to be a grandpa soon, which is cool. Nate says, and I clicked on it without even reading it because I know the quality of Nate's comments. It's all about the 2K watt power bank now. We use one for our camp up north. It takes 30 minutes to an hour to charge in the AM with a Jenny, and it does the job for the rest of the day for everything. So the reason I like this comment, now that I've read it, is that on the 11th of November, known in Canada as Remembrance Day. Okay, so there was this large dump of snow. We had 24-ish centimeters, which took down some branches and stuff and knocked my house out of power from 7:19 in the AM until 9:40 in the PM. And so I was like, I have no fear because I have a power bank. And I took my power bank out. I did a review of it last year, and I hadn't really plugged it in since then. And that battery is gone. It is dead. Because I was like, this is going to be great. Boop. Boop.
Too much power draw.
Nothing. Boom. Oops. And the power came on again for about an hour. Like before that, like the night before, we lost power for about 30 minutes. I was like, oh. And then it came back on, so I ran and got that because I was going to plug it in while we still had power, and I was going to keep us going if we lost power again. Oh, I thought you were about to get a kiss goodnight there.
No, well, maybe.
Oh my land! Hi, doggy.
Maybe. That's our new baby in the house. Sorry.
I was going to say that doesn't look like the same dog. So I plugged it in, and it did not power up, like at all. And a friend of mine at work is like, "Yeah, I have it in my iCal that like every I don't remember if he said 3 or 6 months or something. I just plug in all my battery stuff. Like, I wish I'd thought of that 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Or 6 months ago.
I just did that last week. I recharged all my power banks and all my wife told me, go down there and clean up your electronics counter.
Well, like, oh yeah.
The whole day.
I recently reorganized this entire area. Dennis, I don't know if you've seen any of my live
streams. Your background is different.
That table, all it took was massive effort and a lot more money than I thought. But like, I completely rejigged this area to be more work conducive. Part of that means not being an epic freaking mess, which is a challenge for me. But so far, I'm loving it. Like, loving not being buried under stuff. He said, totally tangentializing. But yeah, so I mean, these power banks are expensive as shit, though, right? So I have a dead one upstairs, and I'm like, do I just throw it out? Like, do I just take it to the Eco Center and toss it? Can you buy a battery, like a new battery to put in it, like you do for a car, right? But I was really disappointed when that thing didn't come on because I was like, wow, what am I going to do with these solar panels? Blah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nate's gone all. Look, we're all getting older, right? We got to have some mod cons with us. Like for instance, um, like I sleep with a CPAP. He said, as if it was just a normal thing. I would love to have a power bank to just run my CPAP all the time when I'm out in the bush. Ethan had a power bank and a travel CPAP.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah.
Great. The thing is, but so I started looking into having something similar so that I could do the same. But solar doesn't power those things up as fast as plugging that bugger into the wall does. So I was wondering, like, if I'm gone for 5 days, will the solar panels on the power station catch up? Or am I going to end up with, you know what I'm saying? Because it's solar
That's
out
hard
there,
to
right?
say, man. Winter or summer, right? And in
Even summer,
summertime, you got cloud cover. Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, even in summer, I don't think it's a hard thing to say. I think it's easy to say that I wouldn't make it if I was gone for like 8 days. I might be okay at 4, kind of thing. Because with the solar panel, even if I'm like carefully moving them throughout the entire day instead of hiking and enjoying life,
Yeah.
every night I would have a little bit less power in that thing. So I don't know. So Nate said hi to Raspberry Rock. Russell said, I just noticed you're here. I may have been drinking. I know Russell. He may have been.
Hey, good night, David. I see
Oh,
David's
is
getting
David
ready to
out?
duck out there.
All right. What was wrong geography?
Oh, we were talking. I said I was a northern boy born in the south, right?
All right.
So wrong geography. Yeah, he said he was as well. So
Yeah. Check out Nate. I've already been out in the hot tent once this
yeah,
season. He's in. Really?
yeah. I actually yesterday I got some devastating news. I had a day camp uh, in the back of a farmer's field there for several years.
Yeah.
I just found out yesterday that I can no longer use it. They built a house out in the front of the way out in the front of the woodlot, like in the farmer's field,
Okay.
and now they don't want people back there. It's like, oh man, bummer. But that's where I was gonna do my first winter camp out with my hot tent probably next weekend, and then I just got the news that I couldn't use it anymore. It's like, ah, crap. So,
The re- I feel for you. The reason I start that sentence again. The reason I don't hunt anymore is because we lost our terrain, whatever that is, land, because the owner of the land we hunted on died, and so his wife sold the land, and so we lost the rights to the hunting area, and we just the groups are dispersed.
yeah,
But here's the thing: one of the things I loved about going hunting was being out in the woods,
yeah,
surrounded by nothing but the sound of, the wind, the trees creaking in the wind blowing through our ramshackle little shack, the wind moving the leaves, the wind blowing through my clothes, the wind howling at all hours.
just
Still
being
better
out there.
than, yeah, but still better than being in the city. Still better than being
Yep,
surrounded by 90-degree angles.
yep.
Um, I'm just looking for more questions. Everything just sort of jumped, so I don't know what the hell. David Evans says, great live, Jess and Dennis. Good night, all. Okay, good night. Oh, we've gone way past 11 o'clock. Sorry,
It's
dude.
25 after. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually shut these things down at 11, but I'm
Well,
having
we
a
started
freaking
20
ball.
minutes late too, so
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, we have to go till 11:30, right?
Sure.
Oh, wow. Nate has a desk job now,
He does.
which
Yes.
made you feel 10 years older. I have a desk job. Nothing makes you feel as old as a desk job does.
I miss
Nate.
going the days going to Algonquin Outfitters and seeing Nate in there and standing there and chat with him for like a half an hour.
Yeah, I bought. So here's
Only
the.
a half an hour.
I bought my my PFD from Nate when he was there, rather than just going to a local business, because I thought it would be cooler to buy from someone I knew through YouTube. And then he went to, I believe it was a coffee company, but now a
Yep.
desk job. Oh, that's like
Muskoka Brewers, or not Muskoka. Yeah. Yeah.
a desk job is wrong for most of us, actually. But oh, that's. I will ping
Yeah.
you offline, Nate,
It's an
to find out
outdoor
where you're
related
at.
desk job though, so we'll just say
Oh,
that.
okay, okay. At
Yeah,
least
yeah,
that. Okay, 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 okay. Everything has suddenly gone click. Yeah, Nate says you'll need a pretty big panel array with good. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Is that on your side or on my side?
What?
It's like a little rhythmic tick, 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 tick,
Oh,
tick.
that was sorry. Yeah. The old drummer and me coming out.
Okay. Russell has a. I should have read this before clicking. What does it say? How does this interview rate as far as your interview? On a rate of 4 to 17. Oh, just as. Why did I click this?
Well, first of all, Russell, you really screwed up the scale there because it should be 1 to 20, and I give Jess a solid 17 out of 20 on that. So
all my scales are from like blue to 14. Why did I click that before
4 to
reading it?
4 to 17. How
4
random.
to 17. Apparently, Michel Plout says that you belong in the Timmins area. Plenty of crown land to use.
I certainly do. At least I belong somewhere north of Sudbury or North Bay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because that's where my true north starts. When I go on a canoe trip, once I hit North Bay or Sudbury area, that's where my north really starts. The only problem is it takes me like 6 hours, 6.5 hours to get to there.
Right.
So, yeah.
Country Boy says that Jess has a touch of the wind. No, he doesn't. He has some creaky shit going on. There again.
What type of wind is he talking? Like
no, Jess has a touch
type of wind or what?
That's what I thought he was talking about, but then I realized that I was on my wind diatribe. I would like to say that this lovely bottle of Yukon whiskey is now finished.
There you go. 20-cent deposit.
Bottle down. I'm just taking a look. Raspberry Rock says my last name. Start again. My last name is Lauzon, or I have no idea how he pronounces that. Lauzon. He's in Quebec, but you should hear it pronounced in Ontario. As someone who spent his formative years being called Jesse Corbeil, I can well understand what Mr. Lauzon was saying.
It's got to be pronounced with the roll of the tongue, right?
Well, it's just that like it's Corbeil. Well, I mean it's Corbeil, but I mean in the Anglosphere in Quebec we call it Corbeil, but EIL trips up people from Anglo Canada like you would not believe. And when I say like if I do a call, whatever, tech support or whatever, what's your name? Jesse Corbeil. That's BET. I'm like, I could see where you get that, but no.
Well, it's like my grandparents, right? Both my grandparents on the one side are French, right?
Okay.
Denis Roger.
So. Denis Roger. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but I've always gone by Dennis Rogers. So
Right. Okay. Yeah, I have two. Well, I had two French Canadian grandfathers and two Anglosphere grandmothers. So both of those families got anglicized in a big way, for sure.
Mhm.
Oh, question for you. I'm going to let it go. Who asked the best questions during your interviews? Now, what I'm reading there is when you're interviewing someone, who throws the best questions back at you?
That Callan guy.
That Callan guy knows what he's doing, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
he'll
yeah.
keep you on
He
your
has
damn
lots of
toes.
experience, right?
Yeah,
He's got a lot of experience. That guy.
he may
Yeah,
have done an interview or two. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And the questions he always comes up with, like when I watch his whiskey fireside chats too. The questions he has for people are not the everyday common questions. Like that the ones that you'd expect that people already know the answers to. He'll fire something at you that you don't really know. And Russell's doing a good job of that tonight too. So.
I'm so glad you brought those up because I've been trying to like. That's what I was hinting at when I was talking about the interviews. I didn't mean the interviews where he's being interviewed by Global. I meant like his whiskey fireside chats, which if anyone watching has not seen any of, by the way, when I'm talking about Kevin and Dennis is talking about Kevin, it's the Happy Camper, Casey the Happy Camper. One of those on YouTube, one of those on Facebook, or is he Casey the Happy Camper everywhere?
He's Casey Happy Camper.
Casey Happy Camper.
Kevin.
Check out the whiskey fireside chats. If it's the only thing you check out, I check out all the stuff. But if it's the only thing you do, check out the whiskey fireside chats because you really learn a lot about a person being interviewed for sure. But you also learn about the person interviewing. You can always tell, about someone's interview style, their approach.
Well, he's a writer too. He has a different way of thinking, right?
He thinks as a writer, and I also think as a writer, so I
Yes.
appreciate that massively.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we're talking about Kevin, Casey Happy Camper, his whiskey fireside chats are well worth your time. I think my favorite one, but whenever I say my favorite one of something, it's always like I really mean, this shade of, over a bunch of shades of gray kind of thing, right? Like when I say my favorite, it's always sort of this is in my top 5, but that part is silent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm just looking at Russell.
Oh no!
Russell's question again. Actually, I like the one Michael. He asked where in Canada would be my ideal retirement. I've always loved the Temagami area. So something up in the Temagami area would be ideal. But in reality, I'll probably never leave the Niagara region because all my family is here. So
I love that answer. But for me, I would love to live on the Sunshine Coast of BC.
Yeah.
Or if I was allowed to, like Haida Gwaii, up in the misty I spent a good 10, 15 years living part-time in Quebec and part-time in British Columbia. And I will tell you something. If you are a lover of the outdoors, British Columbia is like,
Yeah.
Ontario as well. And like Manitoba, lands of lakes and all that stuff. And Quebec has such beauty. But there was something about the time of my life when I was like, I would go to school in Montreal and then go to BC like the next day and then come back just in time for school. There was something about the way my life was operating at that time that like my favorite art style of all, period, don't even try, is specifically Haida, Northwest Coast. My favorite forest, even though it's been years, man, that it gets me. It just so if I could retire to like coastal BC, which is where winning the 30 mil comes in.
Yeah.
Well,
it'd be nice
in a
to have
Montreal
a dual residency, right?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go back to shuttling back and forth kind of thing. Yeah. But even, where my dad lives in the Okanagan, um, I got kicked out of my house at one point and went and stayed for a week with my fiddler and then a week with my dad. And I had never been in a desert before at all. And so the week I was in Alberta, we went down to like Drumheller, and I was like, wow. And then I went and spent a week in the Okanagan with my dad, which is like a pocket desert, right? It's semi-arid, and then it gets really friggin' arid down when you get down to Oliver and stuff. And my mind was blown because I had never been in that kind of in that kind of neighborhood before.
Yeah.
What? In that kind of land before. And I was like, how would one bushcraft in a desert? And like one thing that really compels me and that I'd love to do one day is, hey there, friendlies, how's up? I'm in Oliver, and I'm going to try to bushcraft surrounded by all this sand and scrubland without setting off a damned brush fire, right? Because there's always a danger. Like maybe I'll go in February when it's green rather than the whole province is kindling. But it was fascinating, fascinating creatures like I've never seen before because I had never seen a rattlesnake
Yeah, that
across.
Drumheller is a really, really unique place there. I was out there about 10 years ago. We went out to visit the brother-in-law and sister-in-law in Calgary, and then we did a
Mm-hmm.
big tour. And yeah, just incredible. Eh? It's like
Yeah,
you're driving, all of a sudden you're in the desert. It's like wow, well, like desert-like conditions. Eh?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember taking a hike with my wife. I almost named her, and coming around a corner, and there was a rattler just right across the path, and I just said, "Hey, honey, why don't you take the detour?" She's like, "Why?" I said, "Just trust me, take the detour,
yep.
because I'm looking for." Russell had asked. Okay, Russell's going back to your cabin discussion, and there's a reason. No, Russell and I do like every now and again we do from 10 till 11 like we just show cabins. Like he usually finds a bunch of pictures of cabins, and people are like, I like the porch on that one, and then we go to the next one. Like I like the kitchen in that one. So there's a lot of cabin talk whenever Russell and I are in the same live stream, and he's saying you didn't describe the layout of your perfect cabin on the lake.
Uh, Open concept, man. Open concept, except for maybe two little bunky rooms in the back.
Okay,
Um, you gotta have room for you and the missus, and then the grandkids on the other side, right? Or whomever. But
but you're thinking like a rectangle though, right? Like not an L shaped with the
yeah,
porch sort
no,
of
like a rectangle. Yep.
wraparound porch.
Uh, Never really thought about a wraparound porch. Probably just like a front veranda type of thing, right?
Wraparound porch.
Well, yeah, that sure. Now that you bring it up, but you helping me build that?
Oh my god, I would be on the next train, dude.
You know what? When it comes to something like that, super simple.
Yeah.
I would want something that is just very bare bones and basic. You know, off grid. If you got some power for nighttime, just to put the lights on.
Yep.
I've always wanted a rustic cabin.
Yeah.
Um, I've never really been interested in like the full hydro and like running water and full
Yeah.
septic. I'm happy with an outhouse or a thunderbox in the back. Uh, just just for the amount of time I would actually be really spending there, to go there and spend a week or two each
Mhm.
summer, or 3 weeks hopefully, would be ideal. But to yeah, just simple, something simple, basic, easy maintenance.
But
Something
okay,
that's
so
constructed to keep the mice out if you can.
right. Covered porch though, or like partially covered? Or
It'd
just
be nice
open
to have a
to
covered porch because
yeah,
I don't really want to battle mosquitoes and black flies. At least like the
fair.
veranda there, screened in type of thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
The old style propane fridge out in the veranda because you haven't
Right.
got room for it inside type of deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a deep cut. That's old school.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like you're living in like Nova Scotia, Annapolis Valley kind of.
Yeah, one of the ones with the rounded edges, and you go open the door and it goes right,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
got to slam it and it moves the whole wall. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
I lived in an apartment like that in LaSalle when I was a kid. Question for Dennis: you're on a canoe trip, but your canoe is destroyed. You have to spend a few days in the wilderness. Besides your tent or bag, what are your 5 most important tools?
Besides my tent and my what?
Bag, your sleeping bag.
My oh, I'm
Oh,
gonna
did he
need.
mean sleeping bag or did he mean backpack? He meant sleeping bag. I'm just laying that out there.
I'm gonna need something to start my fire with.
Right?
So a ferro rod or a
Fair right.
lighter. Uh, oh yeah, I don't like sitting on the ground. I'm gonna have a chair with me too. One of those little collapsible
Like a
chairs.
little collapsible. Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
a couple
yeah.
of
What the
those.
hell?
Yeah,
Let's see here, and then of course my cutlery and like my cooking stuff
yeah,
and a fishing pole so I can catch my meal. You
fair.
know, I'll catch anything I can except for a brook trout.
Right, right.
What else we got there?
Russell says Jess nails Dennis to the board. Oh yeah, he
uh,
did mean sleeping bag for sure. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And he says, of course, he likes your. Oh, we're at 11:41. So
yeah, man. I gotta get up early.
yeah, yeah, and so do I, which is going to be great because I just finished a bottle of whiskey. Um, thanks to Dennis for being on for my first interview since the Kevin Callan one. Um, next week I do not have an interview. I'm back to the normal format. Between now and next week, all of you who've been hanging with us, please be safe, be sane, be healthy, and be kind to one another. And Dennis, I know your sign off. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Well, can I just add one thing before we take off?
Sure.
To those of you that have reached out to me over the last year and a half and just asking and inquiring about the show and stuff like that, I really, really do appreciate the outreach. It kind of warms the heart. Dennis is a softie. You know, I cry over silly movies and stuff like that. But it is nice to know that it's nice to know that people have been missing the show, and for me, that's inspiration to not say that I'm not ever going to do the show again. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect
So
sense.
thank you for everybody for the outreach. It's really great. It's great to see so many familiar faces and names in the chat there. And Jess, you too, man. Thanks very much for having me on the show and keep it going, man. You've like I say, you're like the Iron Man here of the Tuesday night talk show. So
I just keep
that's
going.
awesome.
Just
Yeah,
keep
man.
going.
Keep the
So
adventures alive, everybody.
that's what I was waiting for. Good night, everyone.